Hi everyone, this is Balázs from RacingBrick. As I'm recording this, the entire motorsport world is holding its breath because we've arrived at the final race weekend of the 2025 Formula 1 season, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at Yas Marina. The championship is still wide open. Verstappen starts from pole after qualifying, with Norris and Piastri right behind him. Nothing is decided yet, and the tension is unreal. It's the perfect high-stakes atmosphere for an F1 fan to build something fast and loud, whether you want to recreate your own version of the race at home or proudly display whichever driver ends up lifting the trophy. And thankfully, LEGO gave us plenty of F1 machinery this year. So today we are doing something I've been planning for a while, a detailed comparison of the LEGO City and LEGO Speed Champions Formula 1 sets released in 2025. These two product lines might look similar at first glance, same teams, lots of wings and slicks, lots of minifigs in racing suits, but once you actually build them, it becomes obvious that they are aimed at completely different people. One line lives on the racetrack, the other lives on the shelf. One wants to recreate a full race weekend, the other wants you to admire a tiny model of your favorite F1 car. Speed Champions went all in this year and delivered the full 2024 grid, one car for every team, each around 240-275 pieces, each trying to capture the real machine as closely as possible with LEGO pieces. Meanwhile, LEGO City took a very different approach and built an entire F1 world around trucks, garages, pit crews and race day storytelling. City gives you the paddock, the transporters, the equipment and the minifig drama, basically everything happening behind the scenes of the Abu Dhabi GP right now. The build experience is where these two themes feel like they are from different planets. Speed Champions is dense, precise and technique heavy. Yes, some structures repeat across teams, but the builds are surprisingly varied overall. You are working with brackets, sideways styles, tiny slot assemblies to shape the side pods, wings, floors and diffusers. The trade-off is the sticker count. Some cars are flirting with 40 stickers, so if perfect alignment gives you anxiety, take a deep breath before building these. But when the cars are finished and you line them up nose to tail, they look seriously impressive. There's one important detail missing though, we will get back to that in a moment. City, by contrast, is intentionally chunkier and simpler. The cars still carry clear team identities, the black and silver on Mercedes, Alpine's bright blue, Aston Martin's eternal, almost the right shade of green, but these models are built to be grabbed, crashed, repaired and raced again. The truck opens into a simulator room, the garage unfolds into a pit lane with launch ramps, and the grid set includes working lights and race officials. City isn't about clever geometry, it's about clever play. You don't need to align tiny stickers, the cars are all printed. You don't panic when a 6-year-old grabs the car by the front wing and the halo isn't a fragile decorative sculpture, it's built to survive. Accuracy and aesthetics make the split even clearer. Speed Champions aims to be the most detailed build possible with LEGO pieces at this scale. Put a Ferrari, Red Bull and Aston Martin next to each other and the differences in their real-world aero philosophies immediately show up in brick form. The Ferrari has that blockier, wide-shouldered sidepod geometry and a very distinctive triangular air intake. The Red Bull stands out with the bright contrasting livery and quite different engine cover. The Aston Martin looks great, although LEGO's available green isn't quite the deep teal the real team uses, but hey, at least it's consistently inaccurate across years. City, on the other hand, isn't chasing that level of accuracy, it's chasing recognizability, strength and fun. The cars look like F1 cars, but they are toy-like versions, some are even more simple than others, but this is not for collectors. A kid immediately understands them without needing every real aerodynamic detail replicated. City F1 exists as a play experience, not a display collection. Play features are where City really wins. The garage has lever-activated launch ramps so you can recreate a double pit lane start that absolutely would get both teams fined in real life. The truck hides a simulator room like the ones teams actually bring trackside. The pit stop set lets you swap tires, adjust tools and argue with your imaginary race engineer about strategy. You can reenact practice, qualifying, the race start, a dramatic crash, the podium, and then pack everything into the truck and drive off to the next fictional Grand Prix. Speed Champions play, meanwhile, mostly consists of rolling the car back and forth, carefully, admiring the shape, and occasionally saying "room" in a serious grown-up voice before placing it back on the shelf. In this case, the build is the play. Now let's talk about minifigures, because this is where one topic really stood out this year, especially among adult fans of Speed Champions: the absence of personalized drivers. For City, generic drivers work perfectly. Kids don't really care if the minifig looks like Lando or Max, they care about the suit color and the fantasy they are creating. A City driver can be anyone: a friend, a sibling, themselves. In fact, not having real drivers makes pretend play easier. But for Speed Champions, this was the missing piece that could have made this F1 wave feel truly special. The cars look great, the liveries are authentic, the builds are fun and collectible. But many fans, myself included, felt that having the actual roster of drivers would have elevated the entire lineup into something special. It would have made the full grid display feel like complete, almost like a miniature paddock frozen in time. So why didn't LEGO do it? Officially, LEGO said they wanted to focus on the cars and the teams, the machines themselves. There is also the argument that drivers change teams frequently, and locking a set to a specific person risks dating it quickly. Well, the cars are clearly based on the 2024 livery and design, so this lineup was about a single season anyway. From a licensing perspective, negotiating with 20 different drivers, each with their own brand managers, image rights and contractual limitations is undoubtedly complicated. And yet this has been done before. LEGO successfully licensed Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello back in the day. They managed to produce the entire German national football team in minifigure form in 2016, each with likeness rights. So while licensing challenges likely contributed, the absence feels like a deliberate creative decision rather than an impossibility. The irony is that the demographic most excited about the full grid, older kids and adult collectors, is the very audience that would have appreciated the drivers the most. In other words, this Speed Champions wave was so close to be great that the lack of drivers sticks out more. Pricing reflects the intended audience. Speed Champions sets are good value for licensed collectibles, but collecting the whole grid adds up fast. City sets give you more variety, multiple vehicles, buildings, minifigs and play features, even if the part counts are lower. So the real question becomes, who are these sets actually for? Speed Champions F1 is aimed at older kids, teens and adults who care about accuracy, want a satisfying building challenge, and appreciate the display value of a small but highly detailed car. You buy your favorite team's car, build it in an hour or two, and proudly place it next to your other Speed Champions car or on your work desk. It's the low-space F1 merch item for people who want something DIY but official looking. LEGO City F1 is aimed at kids who want to play Formula 1. They don't need super correct shaping, they need a driver, a mechanic, a truck, a garage, and the power to create their own Abu Dhabi finale where Haas accidentally wins the championship because everyone else crashed into each other at turn 1. So which should you buy? If you are a collector, if you are someone who's really into the building experience itself, go with Speed Champions. If you want to support your favorite team, pick their car and enjoy the build. If you want roleplay, action and family building time, the City Truck and Garage sets are fantastic. And honestly, many fans will end up with both teams, City for play, Speed Champions for the display. So let me know in the comments, are you a City story builder, a Speed Champions display collector, or someone who mixes both? And tell me which missing driver you would have loved to see LEGO include this year. As for the real Abu Dhabi Showdown, well, we will find out soon whether Norris, Verstappen or Piastri gets to write their name into the history books. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications, as more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.